it. Alrighty, so here we are in another episode of Australian Bushcraft and Hunting. The boys were actually out riding their BMXs and it was raining a lot, but now it seems to have sort of stopped raining. But anyway, we bailed home and I said, well, I've got a little bit of a project for us to work on, and so we're going to build a feather burner for doing our arrows. So the boys are going to actually have a go at doing as much as they can themselves. I'm obviously just going to help them. And so we've got a bit of stuff here. We've got like just your normal screwdrivers and everything, pencil. Got a bit of wood to make a bit of like a box up. Got different types of bolts, nuts, washers and all that. The main thing is the resistance wire. So we're using 26 gauge nichrome wire. And then I've got a few different transformers, but I've done a little bit of a rough test and it looked like just a normal, you know, what you sort of use on your lights, 12 volt lights. So it's a 20 to 60 watt 12 volt outlet. So we're going to use one of them for the transformer and then put it in a switch. We've got some glue, some nails, and yeah, so we're just going to have a crack. We'll build a bit of a feather burner, see how we go. What do you reckon?
Yep.
Sounds good. Alright, Em. Alright, we'll get back. Alright, so how good was that for an afternoon job? A quick wham bam. I went and got a couple of things. We made ourselves a little feather burner. So it's literally an LED driver. It's from Osram, but it's a 20 to 60 watt, 12 volt. And then so I've just got the cord that comes with it. So that just goes in. Neutral goes back to this anyway, and the active out of that goes up to the switch, out of the switch back down into the transformer, and then a couple of bits of cable coming out of the transformer out into a couple of posts, and a bit of 26 gauge nichrome steel. Now this stuff here ends up being a bit of a pain in the bum to find. So the 26 seemed to work out on the calculations for working with something like this. The 24 gauge would be a bit better, but you'd need a bigger transformer, something a bit more grunt, which obviously isn't very cheap. So the 26 gauge seems to work pretty good. We just got to probably just do a bit of stuffing around with, setting it all up a bit better. Otherwise, it seems to somewhat work. And where you find this stuff is actually, people use those vaping, cigarette things. So that's where I got this stuff from. Is one of those shops, because this they use this stuff inside their cigarette things. So there you go. Because this wire is actually sort of hardish to find. J-Car, Bunnings, everywhere like that doesn't sell it. So that's where you end up finding it. So they've actually got all sorts of different types. It's only like $10. I think it was $9 or something for that. You're talking $5 for a switch, a bit of wood, which you can do as much or as little as you want, and about $15 for one of these. And a few little nuts and bolts and everything. And that's a pretty cheap little fun project to do, which literally took us,
45 minutes?
Yeah, probably like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Really not long at all. Anyway, thanks for that, and we're gonna have a bit of fun burning some feathers now and see what sort of cool designs we can come up with.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.
Holy moly. That is red hot. Stinks.
It does stink. Pretty cool.
Yep.